Hi guys, it's Colette. Welcome for a wee coffee and chat. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, but maybe a wee update on whatever's going on in the family. First of all, I'd like to ask how yous are, how you're doing. It's a heavy time in the world just now, it definitely is. A lot going on that for empathic people, it can feel as though you've been squished from all sides, and that's not a good feeling. So I hope that if I can give you a wee reminder, which I've been doing to certain magical people round about me, you know who you are, about cleansing properly, not your makeup, but your aura, your house, your rooms. Uh, I use sacred sage and a little bit of sweetgrass, but whether you use incense, whether you use salted water, whether you use other forms of herbs that can be burned, lavender, etc. Please do it, because it's there's a lot of things can infringe on the outskirts of our life. And if it were just one, like maybe there was the aspect of you go online to check your email, and the whether it's Yahoo or, yes, I'm still with AOL, that's how old I am and how stubborn I am. But basically, if it was just like, oh, there's the war, blah blah blah, in Ukraine, and oh, right, that we could maybe, right, I'm going and I'm getting on with my work. But then if you're also hearing about violence, or you're hearing about cost of living, you're hearing about pipelines, it's like a million little negative pinches at our aura. It's like death by 1,000 cuts, if you want to look at it that way. The aura can only withstand things like that if it is continually cleansed and strengthened. And the only person that can really do that is you. Yeah, you could go to, someone that maybe does Reiki or healing, or, a shamanic practitioner that could maybe thoroughly smudge you. But it's better if you just know how to do it. Now, if you put in how to smudge, I have a video on that somewhere way back in my channel. Oh my goodness, I've got about 850 videos now. But it's way back, but it's how to smudge yourself in your house, and there's no point in doing it again because it's there. But what I'm trying to say is everybody really needs to smudge themselves in their house a wee bit more. You wouldn't not wash your face, you wouldn't not cleanse, you've got to do that for the health of your aura, and therefore your inner being as well. So please do that, because I do feel as though, I don't think I've lived in a time where there was so much negativity going on. No, I don't. I mean, in the 80s, I was always worried about nuclear stuff to a certain degree. There was all the Star Wars stuff, and I really, one of the reasons, which, I mean, people say, oh no, that would never happen, but back then and still now, I live within a certain zone of fast lane, which is the Trident base, or the nuclear base, which is UK but also is partly owned by the USA. And I've always felt quite a target, and even if it wasn't a target, maybe an accident. And after the 80s, I kind of, oh, no, we're okay, we're getting there, we're fine. And now it's that sort of underlying fear bubbles below, and it's not so much for me and Jim, believe it or not, because we're a bit older, but the thought that both my girls and their husbands, their partners, and my wee grandson, we all live within this kill zone, which I've never wanted, but I love my home and my place in Scotland too much. It's so very beautiful. So, but what I'm trying to say is that in itself, back in the 80s when everything was in our face, that was there. Then it went away for a while, and it was always under the surface. I've never liked these nuclear things. I really haven't. But you can push it to the back of your mind. But then if there's a war, um, and then there's all the NATO and everything getting involved, and you can be for that or against that. There's different opinions on it. But the fact that there's a war, and my little my little tribe are sitting in the kill zone as such. So yeah, that, and then if you start adding, I'm seeing a lot of there's in some of the areas in Scotland there's quite a lot of child poverty in the built up areas, the areas that maybe lost steelworks, etc. Trying to help out a wee bit with that as well, and that can be heartbreaking. Although the Scottish Government has brought out some extra help, so yeah, but even seeing that and hearing that kids maybe are not getting a breakfast, and have to, maybe if they get breakfast at school, it's the only meal they have in the day. So that breaks my heart a wee bit as well. And then of course there's all sort of elections and all the the stuff going on with the market. And when those, I used to be so political, but I think you have to choose your fight. And if you're a wee bit if you're a bit like me, you tend to go off on so many things and then realise you just do not have the energy for that, especially now I'm older. But I must admit, I feel myself pulling back to the sense of, well, if I look after my own wee family and my own wee tribe, and everybody else does the same for their little families and their little tribes, and we take care of the earth within the area that we can, and we look after our health and get back to basics in a way, then each little family will come through, So I'm choosing my battles a wee bit more specifically. Not that I'll ever give up on some of them, no. But there's things that I've had to say, well, I care about that, but I only have the energy for this and this. I can't necessarily care about that. And I think those of you that are committed to certain things will understand that too. But yeah, cleanse your auras. As I say, I'm still very easily go off in meditations and journaling, and come back sometimes feeling very tired, but come back also feeling quite renewed at times. So look after your spiritual health and look after your physical health too. And let me know what you're doing. If you think with all the stuff goes on, how are you handling it? What are you doing to look after you and yours? Mainly from a spiritual point of view, but are you growing more things yourself, or are you learning more skills so that you don't have to rely on other people so much? I'll be interested to hear what you're planning. I feel as though the last couple of months been quite caught up in health things for myself, but it's a bit like getting lots of tests done to check that you're kind of not getting any worse or whatever, and some of them have to be redone in January, which is fine. Kidney function had gone down, but it's stabilised over the last 3 months, which is good. I'd rather it was better, but it is what it is. And oh, what's the other thing? Kidney. And yeah, all my inflammatory factors were up quite a bit, but that is possibly to do with the Sjorgen's and just flare-ups of it, which you'll know, those of you that are here having coffee with me know that every so often I'm quiet for a few weeks, and it's because I've been blasted. But they do want to do a rheumatoid test as well, because it's the inflammatory stuff is creeping up a wee bit more, and that will get done in January as well. And but other things are quite good. I had been, before COVID, I had been almost pre-diabetic, and now those levels are back to normal, which is interesting because what the things that you can have for your kidneys, there's things sometimes that you can't, that are actually very healthy, and things that I love, like kiwi fruit and bananas aren't that good, and oranges. There's stuff that I would love to eat, but I know it's not particularly good for my kidney function. But however I've managed the kidney stuff, I've gone back to a normal range of not diabetic or anything like that, which is really good. So I'm really chuffed with that. It was like I had a full MOT, but waiting for new hearing devices, a new test in January as well. Goodness, I think I'll have to take January off everything because I've got too much going on. And this week I've got the dentist, so I thought I better get a coffee and chat done, just in case I've got a swollen mouth and I'm like, oh. So let me know, have you been looking after your health, etc.? Is there anything that's deteriorated in you that you feel you're trying to take care of, or that is, even particularly if it's got you down, you know? Because sometimes we've got a lovely community here that would reach out and say, oh, well, I'm thinking of you or whatever, and I read every comment. So if you even just need to feel that maybe you've got nobody round about you that you can tell how you're feeling, you can tell us. Someone, believe me, will say, oh, I'll send you healing, and that's always a good thing. Sometimes when I've been very poorly, I've had healing sent to me from the regulars on the channel, and I felt so much better. So we're here. If anybody wants to, under in the comments, let us know. If you're struggling a wee bit health-wise, let us know. I've been so caught up in one things, I've not been doing the healing rose for a while. Do people want the healing rose back? Maybe a video done with it, just a short every couple of weeks. That might be a good idea since we're in this time of difficulty. Let me know if you want more healing sessions and the rose. I haven't forgotten the mediumship videos. I think they'll be up maybe early next year, maybe February actually. I've got things written for that. I've just, it's not the way I want it arranged properly so that it flows from one video into the next. Probably be a series of 4, I think. So I'm looking forward to that. January I'm going to go on with the novel I'm writing, and then get that out probably in March. And the Big Grandmother book is chugging along, and I feel as though having had the break from it has been a good thing. It's given me new perspective of maybe what should be in it and what shouldn't. And indeed there was one of the question and answer videos that I did, someone said, oh, that should go in the book, and I thought, you know, it definitely should. I hadn't thought of that. So pardon me, they'll probably come to the stage where I look at this grandmother book on magic and wisdom and think, right, we're going to do another section on such and such in it. But that's the way that when it comes out, I'll feel it's complete. So yeah, and I'm going to keep doing the question and answer videos. There's still about 30 questions outstanding, but I'll just work with them maybe once a month or so, and do the mediumship videos as well. And I do like doing the shorts. The shorts are fun, you know, especially when I can take little shorts of the cows in the field or the trees, or you know, little affirmations. I do enjoy them because I don't need to be in them, so I can do them in my jammies if I want to. So anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to next year for the channel, but it'll probably get started in February. I'll have January off. Goodness, this is turning into a long coffee and chat, isn't it? I'm still missing Nellie, but she's been around a lot, which has been very, very helpful. Yeah, we miss her, the whole family misses her. She's been in many of our dreams. I've seen her pitter-pattering around the house. But she was kind of one of a kind, you know. Benji, he turned 14 last week. He's what, 98 or something in dog years, and oh my goodness, he's just an old man. But I know he could go anytime, but my wee sis had a lasso lapso as well, that from age 14 was blind and oh, it's, you know, sort of problems, and he was 17 when he passed. So I'm going to kind of just go with the flow where Benji's concerned, because some days I think I have to listen to see if he's breathing, and other days, you know, he wants his treats and his cuddles and is a bit like a pup again. Really weird. I do love him. I would actually like to have another wee dog possibly in place before he goes, but it's got to be the right dog. We can't, Jim and I couldn't handle a pup, you know, but we've not got the physicality to look after a pup. So it needs to be a, you know, a dog maybe age 2 till about age 6, and a small dog. We're lucky in that the back garden and the side garden and stuff are all enclosed, so you know, the wee dogs don't need that much if they're allowed to jump about the garden. And but yeah, I think I enjoyed having the 2 dogs, and I'm enjoying having time with Benji just now on his own. But I feel maybe there's a wee girl or a wee boy out there that's maybe just needing a new home, and some way will come to us. I'm very trusting in that. When I was yearning the most for a wee dog, and I couldn't find the right one, and I mean, the price of dogs is so, you know, of pups and stuff, you know, you're talking about £1,000 or £2,000, and you know, I'd rather have a, you know, a rescue or someone that needed to rehome a dog. I'd much rather do that. But I feel I've lost the plot, but I do feel as though it would be nice to have another wee one. And I said to Jim, and it's a horrible thing, but I said I also felt I wanted one before Benji passed, because I think I've not been without a dog for so many years now that I don't know how I'd feel not to have that company or that. So I'm just putting it out there. When I was yearning the most for a wee dog, that's when Benji came to us. And I really had yearned for the right dog for about a year before that. And to be honest, we couldn't actually have the dog at that point because we had a Persian blue cat called Misty, who literally would have torn apart any animal apart from her that came in the house. She was beautiful, but she was intolerant of any other pets. So we knew that, you know, we had to, I would get my dog after she'd passed, and she was about 17, I think, when she passed. But after that, it was only a few months, and then Benji came. So I feel as though I'll get there. I always feel that Goddess provides, and I still believe that. So anyway, this is going to be awful long. It's going to take about 14 hours to upload, because our upload speed out in this cottage is unbelievably slow. You wouldn't believe it. Even the engineer, when they came out to check it, said, I couldn't cope with this. It's about 1.2 something or other, and his is something like 4,000, about 20 miles away. So yeah, but you're all worth it. You're all worth it. So I'll definitely be doing a coffee and chat in the lead up to solstice and Christmas and New Year, and maybe some fun things. I'm not sure. The way I'm looking at YouTube now is that I absolutely love yous all, and I'm enjoying the videos, but I'm now doing the videos that I know I want to do, and they're maybe not as regular or whatever, but when I can do them, my heart's completely in them, and I feel as though I'm giving the authentic Colette, which I always did, but there was sometimes, particularly when I was doing the weekly tarot, that sometimes I just didn't feel like doing it, but I would do it anyway. But now I feel as though I'm getting much more benefit out of doing the videos that I particularly like to do, you know, the sort of question and answers, the teaching and the mediumship demonstrations. I love them all. But YouTube algorithm doesn't seem to love them all, to be honest. It doesn't show them off very well because they're not broad enough, you know, they're quite a niche thing. But again, that's fine. I mean, I'm here. What is it I said to Jim? I'm about 160,000 away from 1,000,000 views. I reckon that could take me another 3 years, so I will make that 1,000,000 views. Believe me, I will. I might have to do it once a month until I'm a bit innate, but I will do. So yeah, we're okay. We're okay. We've had our third booster. We're okay. We're just, Jim and I kind of, when winter comes to the cottage, we're very well prepared. You know, we've got enough coal for the fire, we've got enough food in. So therefore, getting snowed in and stuff isn't a big issue. And to be honest, the snow that used to be a problem last year and the year before, it was more flooding. The lanes that are up to the cottage have big dips in them, and it means there can be a puddle of about 4 or 5 feet if the little river sort of bursts. So a lot of the times, like when we're snowed in, it's not actually snow, it's actually flooding in the lanes. As long as I've got Zoom for my girls and my family, I'm okay. So what I'm trying to say is we actually quite like this time of year. We just snuggle down and read books, do our hobbies, and just get on with things. So I'm hoping that it will be a nice year. And I think when you're a bit like that, again, pulling back from things that are constantly coming in a barrage about the, you know, all the negative stuff that's going on, I think to have some sort of degree of quiet contentment, you have to turn off that noise a bit. So I'm hoping you'll do that. Yeah, there's things we need to know. We all need to know what's going on in the world. But what I'm trying to say is we can't fight every battle. So choose one if you want, and let other people choose the others they want, and then just back right off. Look after your aura, look after your inner health. The winter's the time of going within our homes, within our souls. It's a solitude that can be so, so beneficial if we don't fear it and if we embrace it. So with that, hopefully see you with another few videos before Christmas, and I hope that you'll continue to watch the channel into the new year. Help me get to that 1 million views mark. And thank you all for just being you. I love the comment section. I've got to know a lot of your personalities and stuff now, and it's very good. And the way you all support one another is brilliant. So thank you very much. And coffee probably is cold by now, so look after yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Many blessings. Bye now.